Hey, Mama. This is Desiree Wolfe coming at you with episode 2 of Biz Lessons and Badassery. Now, I always start the YouTube live just a few seconds before. That way people can get jumped on. I didn't announce this was coming. And in fact, here's the deal. I'm I'm probably not going to announce when I do a Facebook or when I do a Facebook. Don't hate me, YouTube. I'm probably never going to announce when I do a YouTube live for the podcast because I'm doing it simply to record the podcast, but I want to give you the behind the scenes so you can see. Okay, so my setup real quick is I have YouTube live on one tab. And once I get my other computer set up, I'll have a second monitor that I'll probably show it from. And then I just have anchor.fm open up on another tab. Seriously easy. I did see that Anchor is going to start launching video. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but we'll figure it out, right? Okay, I'm going to go over to Anchor. I'm going to add in my break, and then I'm going to hit record. All right. And for you on YouTube Live, get ready because I'm going to start the show. So this is kind of like the green room. That's how we can look at it. We can look at it. What's happening before the show starts? How exciting. Yeah. Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of Biz Lessons and Badassery. I am your hostess with the mostess. I am Desiree Wolfe, business coach and marketing strategist for women in home-based business, primarily direct sellers, but that doesn't mean that you have to be in direct sales or you have to be a mama. So here's the thing. I want to talk about mom guilt as a business owner. So I have experienced mom guilt. I probably experience it almost every single day. And I know a lot of other mompreneurs go through the mom guilt. So let's talk about this a little bit. Let's talk about what mom guilt looks like from the inside. Mom guilt is when you're working on your business, you got a big project coming up, and you are spending a ton of time sitting in front of the computer, checking your phone, doing recordings, creating content. You might be not even home. You might have a ton of parties that you're doing. You might have a bunch of meetings, networking, all that kind of stuff. And your kid looks at you, Mom, are you busy again? That's when the mom guilt usually steps in. We start to feel like we've spent way too much time on our devices and working our business and not enough time with our kids. Another scenario is you are working and the kid comes in and you tell them, not right now, go away, mama's busy, whatever phrase it is you do that you work with your kids. I ain't judging, honey. You can tell your kids to leave the damn room. That's all right. And then you realize what happens and the mom guilt steps in from that aspect. You feel bad. You feel bad that you feel like you're not being a good enough mom. And I want to tell you right now that 99% of the time, if you're feeling the mom guilt, you're fine. And 99% of the time, our kids don't even really think twice about it. And if they do, that's when you can correct it or that's when you can shift gears. But I want you to give yourself a little bit of a break. So let me tell you about something that happened this week in my business. The school called where I've registered my son to go into kindergarten, and I was missing some paperwork for the registration. And I had to get it over there before 11 o'clock when they closed the office or the registration hours. And today was the last day, of course, because I procrastinated and I thought it wouldn't be a big deal. Well, the problem is I realized it at 9 o'clock that I needed to be there by 11. I had a 10 o'clock interview that I had to record for a telesummit that I'm doing, ironically about mompreneurs, right? So I messaged the gal and I said, there's a good possibility I'm not going to make our 10 o'clock appointment. At first, though, before I even hit send, I thought I could do it. I could get this stuff printed, run up to the school, and get back. And then I thought to myself, well, how rude of it, how rude would I be if I didn't make it? And I'm messaging her 5 minutes before we're supposed to go live, right? That would be even more rude. So at 9 o'clock, actually, I think it was about 9:15, I sent her a message and I said, hey, I got to run up to the school. I'm not going to make 10 o'clock. Can we please push it back by half an hour? And then I felt really bad, but I had to do what I had to do. And guess what? I had guilt. I had business lady guilt. So there was guilt on that side. 10 minutes later, she messaged me back and said, no problem. This is what being a mom is all about. So two things happened. I recognized that there was going to be an issue and I addressed it. And really, three things happened and it was fine. There's a second part to the story, though, that brings in the mom guilt, which is what inspired this whole episode today. I was doing the recording. I got my son all set up. We got back. I was 20 minutes past our 10 o'clock appointment, so it was a good thing that I messaged her. I got my son his snack and turned on the YouTube and all that kind of stuff so he's usually prepared. What I forgot to do was get him a drink, and he nicely reminded me of that in the middle of my recording with a chocolate milk meltdown. Yeah. So while I'm trying to record, I'm trying to shoo him away, and he's standing there with the big crocodile tears and, you forgot my chocolate milk. I'm so thirsty. And I'm trying to record without being obvious. And it finally got to the point that I'm now thinking she can hear him crying. Yeah, not something you want on record, your child crying while you're trying to talk about balancing work and being a mom, right? Yeah, it was not the best. So I actually had to ask her, can we please pause the recording? And I need to go deal with his meltdown. It was embarrassing, but once I got him the chocolate milk, he actually came over in the middle of the recording and gave me a hug and then snuck back out of the screen. That is actually what triggered the mom guilt, because I thought, here I am recording, talking about being a mompreneur and the balance of trying to juggle it all, and I'm standing here with a 5-year-old who's having a meltdown and me feeling like I'm not juggling it all very well. It made me have the realization that there's going to be times that I am trying to juggle it, and there's going to be times that juggling is working, and then there's going to be those times that the juggle does not have to work. So here's my advice. You have to plan ahead when you're a mom. You have to make sure that your schedule matches what's happening with the outside forces. That means soccer practice, track practice, early days off, school days off, vacation days, that kind of stuff. It has to be scheduled ahead of time to the point that you know when you can work your business. You know you're not going to be able to work your business at 8 o'clock on the first day of spring break unless you know your kids sleep in, right? You know that's going to be a crazy day. The kids are going to want to come out. They're going to be all over the place. They don't have a routine yet. So you have to plan ahead and you have to know what's coming up. On the flip side of that, the planning ahead is actually going to help you when the emergencies pop up or when the meltdowns happen. And it's going to help you know that you can make a shift. Instead of just saying, I didn't get to my entire list of 20 things to do, you know that 2 of the things that you had planned, you're going to have to shift to another time. Maybe it's after they go to bed, maybe it's to tomorrow. I want you to realize that the guilt you feel means you're doing a good job. It means you are trying to fulfill that need of being a good mom. If you don't have the mom guilt, then you've either mastered how to control that feeling, or maybe you need to take a step back and look at the relationship you have with your kids. Feeling the mom guilt is perfectly normal, and it's perfectly okay. When you start to feel that way, do me a favor and take a deep breath, take a step back, and remind yourself that you're doing the best that you can. There's going to be good days, there's going to be bad days. There's going to be days that you have it all together, and there's going to be days that you don't. So I want you to think about planning ahead so you can be prepared for the emergencies. All right? All right, that's episode 2 of Biz Lessons and Badassery. If you need help with your planning, head over and grab my free planning guide, which is the best year yet. You can grab that at DesireeWolfe.com/best-year-yet. And that's my free gift to you for listening. All right, thank you so much, and stay tuned for the next episode. Talk to you soon.